Oh, Lord. Good Lord. Laddie. Boy. Oh. Can't sit. I can't sit properly. Oh. Oh my god. My knees are completely broken. I think I have gastritis. I have a piercing headache. So Disco Elysium. I actually kind of want to play Bannerlord, but it's also just gonna piss me off. But I don't like switching games in the middle of a playthrough. I'm not like Kibbs. Be playing Viking Conquest. Are there any mods that fix the item management and make it not the absolute worst item inventory management system I have ever seen? It is worse than Diablo 1. No. Oh, good lord. Because, like, that's the big thing. Other than that, I think everything else is like manageable. But the inventory system is like insane. Yeah, but still, it's still like absolutely ridiculous. Maybe if you just make a mod that gives you like infinite inventory space or something, it won't be absolutely horrible. Because just like trying to figure out what items to keep and shit, it takes like 30 minutes after every battle. And that's just from the beginning. I am exaggerating, Martin. God damn. Is this even set to my headphones? Speakers. So where were we? The jam mystery. Straight through the lady driver's lorry. Cabin near the monument. Right. That's what we were doing. Which one is that? Oh lord. But I'm still open to trying Warband. Whether it's Viking Conquest or not.
A to Z, Contemporary, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
Like I installed Florist mod on purpose so that it would have more functionality and be better and whatever. Because everyone's like, oh, you need this mod. It's like mandatory. But I think I would try an overhaul, like a Lord of the Rings one or something like that. So not necessarily the Viking Conquest.
This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying.
Try to peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and 2 steering levers.
I did take a peek at the Bannerlord modding server, modding Discord server, and it seems there are some people that are working on models and stuff for overhauls currently, but it doesn't seem like there are any real overhauls currently. Takes a while to make the models, I suppose. Especially nowadays, when the models have to look better than, like, you know, trash. Try the door handle.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. There's no pick in this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design.
How are we going to get this open, Kim?
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
Really?
This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
Kim is fucking tired. Overhaul the base mechanics. I don't know. It's been like a couple of days since I played it, so I already forgot the entire game. But it's more like it's missing things than the mechanics being like that bad. But people are already adding a lot of stuff, like being able to buy land and da 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 da. I have to tell you, yeah. The AI apparently has incredible problems climbing ladders, which makes sieges a nightmare.
This screen found A to Z
What the?
contemporary is parked in the
17% physical instrument? Smashing a door is that hard? Are you kidding me? Bonus from thoughts, -2. Ah. Oh, there's another 11 hours.
Yes?
This screen found A to Z contemporary is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming.
You may
overhead.
retry it.
It's seen better
Smash the
days.
window with the pry bar. Failure.
Pry bar in hand, you take a hard swing at the window. A loud thunk rings out and the pry bar bounces back, leaving a tiny spider web on the glass. Looks like the window might be shatterproof. You may have to rethink your approach.
The window appears to be shatterproof.
No, it's not shatterproof. Give me that.
He takes the pry bar from you and gestures for you to step back. Then, with little
He
warning,
smashes it into the window. Droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement. You can just reach in now.
just open the door from the inside.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Admire the posters. Pull out the pull-out toolbox.
A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold the
It's
newspaper.
an issue of Petit Ferique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
His thoughts trail off. Push in the pull-out
The
toolbox.
pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio, posters, a trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes.
Admire the posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat.
Study the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't put your finger on whom exactly. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called Door to the River, not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too.
Enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Check the pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Looks like the driver has glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
The sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right boot sole.
Yes?
He likes where this is going.
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
The lieutenant's eyes light up behind his prescription lens. Women, shake your head. Always up to something. First the drug smuggling, now this. How deep does this rabbit hole go?
Now we know for certain who's the missing eighth person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
Not necessarily. The lady driver could have kept the drugs trade a secret. This would fit what Joyce told us, but I don't want to make any assumptions.
Understood. We should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and a faint smell of perfume is in the air.
Examine the radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV.
He flicks the switch on the radio.
Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least, perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key.
What else is here?
The smell of 1,000
Closed door.
close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Steps away from the lorry.
All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
What about the movie posters? How do they factor into all this? It turns out this is connected to the U.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition.
Will the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
He stops to think. What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Okay. Debrief over?
Debrief over. After you.
Hey, officer. Got a minute? Said who? Said you?
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
Sorry, man. I can't disclose the facts of an official investigation to you.
It's that bad. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her?
Lets out a whistle, looking about 10 years older suddenly. Last thing we need is more civilians involved. No need for you to do anything. Don't worry, the police are looking into it.
Yeah, maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can.
What's the plan with those rhymes anyway?
Oh, you know. Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
Why Tommy Leham?
Tommy Lam was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
Alright. Good luck with that, Tommy. Gotta run.
Yeah, you too. Be safe, detective.
Still. How do you get up on the goddamn roof? Like it's this roof. What? There's just there. That's her. How do you get up there? Makes no sense. Like this definitely doesn't lead there, right? Maybe it does. No, it doesn't. Hmm. see something from the balcony? No? Hmm. No sense.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Can't inspect the cables either for the phone. Oh, right. Well, right. I'm gonna call in here.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out tool.
Pick up the radio.
Precinct 57, how may I assist you?
Have you heard back from the ICP about the serial number?
Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Betancourt sur la Clé in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies in the Seminine conflict. So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued.
Do you know what it's called now?
The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Trinell, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor.
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
First, has the firm continued to work for pharmaceutical companies through all these name changes?
Hard to say. Their client list is rather diverse and incomplete. The only constant seems to be that the mercenaries are always deployed in third and fourth world countries.
The fuck is the fourth world? What does that even mean? Were there 3 parties in this war or something? 'Cause as far as I know, that's what the whole world, like this entire term came from. Like the Axis versus the Allies, and then neutrals. That's the third world. So what the fuck is the fourth world? What else is there? Like, are you the third part? That has to be it, I guess. A suit of armor like this would have been customized to fit the wearer. There must be a record of the person to whom it was issued.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though.
This is a fun challenge for her, an opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM.
Yes, thank you, officer. I really appreciate your efforts in this case.
Glad to help. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more for you then. 57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of
Whatever that's gonna do. And the little guy gets smaller and smaller as you rise above the dollhouse world. You see him out in the snow, on the streets, in the shop on the corner, and finally, in a matchbox house. Sitting by the window, White flowers on the windowsill. You can smell them up here. It's awful. A white morning. A modern death. Divorce or something similar. All you can do is put more distance between you and him. Make him smaller. Make him less you. Plus 20% zoom out distance. All motorics learning caps increased by 1. All motorics. Motorics? Motorics is not the correct pronunciation at all. Alright. All of these are motorics. Oh, that means more interfacing! Finally. Where did we need interfacing? Luckily it shows you here. The knick-knack stand. Do I care about that at all? Map wall. Oh yeah, that's to get a toy or something. Don't have any skill points. Alright. Zoom up more. Great, I guess. Let's see, what do we have here? Half-light. Logic, authority, visual calculus. I don't think authority is really gonna work on her. Electrochemistry reactions. Savoir-faire. Just one suggestion.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I spoke with the lorryman at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Wait, where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
Like she doesn't really care that much. Contain the situation. Say that. What? Oh, she didn't say that. already heard about the connection between the lynching and the strike, but I need your testimony. Did it contain the situation? I'm gonna go with that.
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
I've already heard about the connection between the lynching and the strike, but I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
A momentary lapse of faith?
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
But then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
Now?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It will be all of them. The decision is already made.
Boy, oh boy, is that not good.
It's not good. No. My only hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put,
She grabs hold of the mainsail.
if you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The Débardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's 2nd largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath.
Maybe a good bloodletting is just what Martinez needs.
Wash it nice and clean. I can't see it happen. Too many things would have to go wrong first. Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you're describing?
Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
Okay, so the guy at the door might not be the guy. Like, he might not have, like, switched. He might just be another. Whatever you want to call it, agent. What can you tell me about
Not
Crenel?
much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Okay, anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources.
She thinks.
If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenel.
Could you contact the company? Tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
You said the deceased assaulted a woman?
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Who did the passing on then?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
What? What did these teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it
We
take
have.
place?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
And who was this woman? It's going to be the bartender. Like, that's all I can think of.
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
Yeah, or that it happened, and that's the official story. Like I said before, and they forced the bartender lady to skip town. They're paying her off.
You'll meet her soon enough, you feel.
This colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
His name was...
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Tell me about the others first.
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
There's a pang of regret to her voice.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed, this matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Where are the remaining 2 mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
You should show those meatheads exactly how savage you really are.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Where are these mercenaries?
One is obviously the scab leader at
Yeah.
the harbor gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
And the girl is... She could be the girl at the top of on the roof. And that girl could also be the lorry driver, and they could be one and the same.
The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
One must be the goon in ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates, the scab
That
leader.
may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
She is poised and unperturbed.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout.
Would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
It's the blue door.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel.
She nods towards the sloop's cabin. I had another question for you.
I hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
There is a brief silence. Seagull squawks over the bay.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
That's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Now, can you tell me about these tattoos? Show her the
She
photo.
reaches for the photo, takes it, then holds it in her hand.
Of course. Excuse my hesitation. Before.
For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet. Observe the woman's expressions.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
She points to one on the photo paper.
I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like stars in the sky?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What is the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
What travels did the dead man?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
Points to it on the photo.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semnes Islands, then this.
Is it worth paying $35 for? Possibly. I wouldn't want to say yes or no until I've finished it, but it's like it would be. Because just because like the first chapter is decent doesn't mean that it doesn't like turn to absolute trash later. But the gameplay itself seems fine. Like I think this is pretty good, as long as you're just expecting a point and click adventure game more or less.
Revachol.
What is that?
Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
And it would probably be pretty decent with a gamepad.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
I need the information. Mark it down. Ask Mercs about tattoos. I feel like it's dangerous to take on too much, because my assumption is that if you fail these side quests, that's somehow going to hurt you.
Do what you have to do, Detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security, but if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, ma'am.
That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No. So now we have a skill point. We're almost at another skill point. Indirect modes of taxation. Bilan the million. No. I'll leave those.
this coin-operated viewer, your money disappears into the coin slot. The curtains on the display, the lenses shift. It looks
Yeah.
as if it was a band.
Really? Really?
Oh, I wanted to look in the directions.
This coin-operated viewer is faced a thick. That's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky, weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo, the central symbol of the Pericarnassian church, a star, a great moral height to be strived towards. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows.
Vigilance officer? What can...
Nope, nothing. What about you?
Officer, the mere sight of police in Martinez makes me feel safer already. How can I help you?
You mentioned Jean-Marie Beaulieu? Who is that?
Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the finest woman in all of Revachol. Maybe the entire world.
He gets a dreamy look in his eyes.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston. Let her rest in peace.
There's an almost imperceptibly small tremble in his voice. So you both knew her? You both know her?
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives, just 2 houses apart. The 3 of us have been best friends since we were 4. She was René's first girl, back when the prick was 16. They were courting till he decided he'd rather die for some great ideal than just be happy.
And then you stole her from me.
He jerks forward, but then grabs his chest and stops. Do not intervene.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since you two had that falling out over the ink you spilled over her pretty yellow dress.
We were just boys then. This was different. You,
The tall veteran looks at you and
no
nods.
point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the first time. Especially when we have company. Officer,
What happened to her?
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was a quiet passage, peaceful.
He smiles faintly.
René and I were both by her bedside when she...
He pauses, searching for the right word.
died. No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back. Will it now?
departed. Until the very end she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive woman I've ever met.
Why do you think she was indecisive?
She could never make up her mind about anything. What to have for breakfast, favorite color, or which one of us to marry.
The look in his eyes is happy and distant.
She was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married.
It's a bit odd.
Heck, technically, we're both still engaged to her.
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. Seduced her with your fancy words and pastries.
Thanks for sharing.
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left.
I wanted to ask you about the Union again.
Sure, officer. They are the good guys around here. What do you need?
Are you a caviar socialist?
I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself in, officer.
Wait, how can you write those newspaper pieces? You're not political.
Officer, I have a vivid imagination. And like I said, I have a way with words. That's enough. No need to sink into politics.
Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't sink into any fight. Only sink into your couch.
But you need to believe in something. Freedom, the people, Revachol, or even money.
I believe everyone has the right to think and do whatever they want, even if it's nothing at all. I'm very adaptable.
Come on, you.
Carabinier closes his eyes, like he's never going to open them again. Thanks, that's all for now.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals, you'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
What are the rules of this game?
The goal is to throw your bull as close
Eh.
to the cochonnet as you can.
He holds out the orb.
That's the cochonnet.
He points to a small wooden ball in the middle of the crater. Interesting. Tell me more about it.
Well, first, you draw a circle about a half a meter in diameter. We made ours out of rope. Then, the order of play is determined by a coin toss. You win it. You get to throw the cochonnet. Then, the players aim to throw their bulls as close to the cochonnet as possible. They must stay in the circle and keep both feet planted.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Petank?
I could, but I'd rather not. I don't want to take up your time with trivial details, officer.
Is he denying you information when you clearly requested it? That's it. We're blowing the lid off this man, Jar. You need to know things.
Trivial? Ha 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 ha. You're not the man. You can still tell me, you know, before anything happens. I think I get it. Thanks, Gustav.
Yes. I'm sorry, officer.
The senior is visibly shaking before you.
Good. Gaston finally understands the rules now. Let's see if it makes him a better petonquista.
I don't like where this is going, officer. Don't you think we should do something else now?
Sure, we got a case to solve. Yeah, we're supposed to talk to these lads. It's just... oh yeah. Just hoping we could equip some shit first. Basing, conceptualization, half-light, suggestion. +1 visual calculus, -1 drama. Oh, let's just not wear anything. -1 rhetoric, +1 reaction speed. -2 savoir faire. Okay, with that. -2 authority, +1 empathy, +1 empire. Can't wait to change out of these rags.
Can I help you?
Art, I saw another thing at the
Another
whirling.
thing. Yes.
No, I didn't.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Titus does not look particularly happy to establish authority. Very low, 3%. Intimidate the public. Assert yourself. Damage -2. Oh, is your volition skill based on your health? Even with the 6, it's still gonna be a very low chance. I don't think that they update properly, but maybe it did.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
No, it did. I want to talk about the hanging again.
Again. Just get the dead guy's autograph, since you're his biggest fan.
Good one, Titus.
No more
About
questions.
fucking time.
Guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 kilos.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grâce?
He taps on his notebook, then turns to you. You're right. There is no local drug trade. Except you, pointed Titus. No, do the honor. You've earned it. Not at the lieutenant. You're right. There is no local drug trade except you.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
True. It's like selling WoW tokens in-game to outcompete gold sellers.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. I know for a fact there's still plenty of drugs out there.
No, there aren't. Some little shit and his dad are doing speed. Who fucking who? The stuff's probably from Jamrock.
He's talking about Kuno. Kuno is on speed.
Whatever you've seen is peanuts. Look at the big picture, man. The place is a paradise. And all thanks to Hardy Boys.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself.
Oh.
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy Boys here.
The 8th Hardy, the one who's missing. She runs the thing, right?
My answer is, fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
The woman sighs.
I know. Fatty walked on all 4s. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints. Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know?
I talked to Joyce, the merc you hanged. His friends are coming for you. I'm not sure if that's such a good idea. Establish authority, though, still. I'm going to take off now. Unbelievable. What do you have to say?
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
She crosses her arms. Are you the hardy girl?
I am not.
She says dryly.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
He's right, you know. You're very pretty.
The cold look in her eyes speaks louder than words. She is not amused. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
Maybe we'll talk later. And it's the door, I'm telling you! I'm telling you!
You see a heavy steel door with the cobalt blue, old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this was painted, maybe. The door does not budge.
Oh! I just want to kick it in. Now what? Oh, yeah. She did not recommend doing this, talking to that guy. Morel. Find a way into the secret passage. Go put the clothes in the trash. Yeah, we need to find someone from the garbage company. Find booze and drink it. No. Track down your badge. Who made the call? I kind of want to call the girl again.
Inside, we see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I
Direct me to Sylvie again.
Just a second, officer. Sylvie Malaika on the line for you, officer. Yes, hello?
You recognize her voice. Hey Sylvie, it's the police again.
Oh, great. What else do you need, detective?
Do you know how my paperwork ended up in the trash container behind the whirling?
Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it. I am sorry about that. Anything else, detective?
She doesn't sound like she's actually that sorry. Have you seen my badge?
Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law.
This exact conversation has happened before. Establishing authority before this young girl seems to have been important to you in the past. Don't go there again.
My badge is missing. Have you seen it anywhere?
Oh, no, I haven't, sorry.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours?
Ian doesn't have a uniform, and he seems real to me.
He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not knowing where your uniform is.
Fair enough.
There are officers who wear the signature Perseus black uniforms to the highest ranks in the RCM and end up buried in them as well. Others do it more casually. Looks like you're one of them.
Hey, I found my patrol cloak earlier, but have you seen my policeman uniform?
Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on. The disco things.
Have you seen my gun?
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective.
I showed you my gun? When did it happen?
You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating, and
She stops hesitantly, not sure if she should continue.
Sounds like it's going to be bad. Do you really want to know?
And what? What did I do?
you were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
Oh, those again. I have been trying to wean you off them.
Off of what?
You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend to shoot your brains out, off of that, people don't like that.
Oh, I see.
I remember this. You were screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall," painting them red. I won't be seeing it, 'cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains. Very nice
Good joke.
visuals there. People tried to back away from you, or even slip out of the door. But you screamed, "I am the goddamned law, and you have to listen to me. You are all suspects in a murder investigation."
Okay, I don't know what to say.
Me neither.
Yes, but what happened to my gun?
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big butts cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns. It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask.
I think I got everything I need. Thanks.
You hear the call breaking up on the other end of the radio, and then the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Connect me to the 41st
Just a
again.
moment.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
Might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss.
Okay, 10-4, sir. I hear you. Relay your question. Over.
Wait, before you say anything stupid, think it through.
Let's start to think about it. Yeah.
Oh, sir, I'm not hearing your question.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Understood, sir. Over. Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
We don't need anything there. Now what? We haven't been into the bookstore for a little while. Talk to these people. Maybe Annette knows something new.
Sir.
What is romance?
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man.
She smiles at the thought, perhaps imagining herself in that
Or
situation.
there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
What about a poor man getting a rich lady?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
I see.
Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
What happens when both of the men are bad?
These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
What if it's written really well?
Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting.
What about when everyone is poor?
That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Yeah, poor people are boring. Sometimes you have to write about real life things.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Yeah? You think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup?
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
No. Think about it. One where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain and recrimination. Only it's really long and drawn out. Guard for life. Phantom limb. Okay.
Sometimes they break up for a little while, but then they always get back together.
That's enough romance for me. I had other questions.
Maybe some about other books?
Okay, see you around, Annette. What about you, lady? Watch her browse books.
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking.
Maybe your husband is missing?
My husband? No, he's not.
Oh, where could he be?
I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working?
Where is this going, officer?
Right, got it.
She
Thanks.
gives you a short nod and shifts her attention back to books.
Maybe your children are missing.
The woman before you.
Why would I ask that?
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
I kind of didn't want to say this, getting Annette in trouble, but girl outside mentioned that this place is cursed.
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir.
What in God's name is she talking about?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not making any money. I'm a bit worried about that. The only thing I can think of doing right now really is confronting this lad over here. Not the racist, but let's see if he... No. This guy. Or go and talk to Everard again.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Are you a mercenary hired by Wild Pines?
Hell no. I'm just an honest scab. I won't have talk like that around here. You understand?
His neck muscles tense up. The veins on his neck bulge.
Be careful. He's holding it deep in, but there are things in there you don't want to meet.
It just has to be said. That was not a convincing line.
Okay, back
the
off.
man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow. Slowly, he's trying to get his right to work dance back on.
What about this lad?
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
No. I could try to squeeze Everard a little. Can we call something again?
The payphone hangs mutely on.
Nah. Can I put the photo back? Let me put the photo back.
This is the night.
Ah! Son of a bitch. Yeah, we should have opened that thing, but we can't. Unless it's like controlled from here.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. The words mark
This
no
much.
breach of metal when you push the button.
But it said it was electronically open, so we're not just gonna get it open.
The cargo container.
Open the door.
Attempt to your left. The lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement.
Oh, Leo? I had some questions for you.
No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes. Wisdom...
Because if we can't figure anything out, I don't know what to do other than like read a book, and that's gonna cost all our money.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
I'm told the Union is involved in the local drug trade.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy, honestly.
No comment.
Harry, you wound me, Harry, in the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject, shall we?
He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
Thank you.
None taken. Do we have anything else to do here, Harry?
I just finished investigating the local drug trade. Well. I'm just not sure, like... I've just finished investigating the local drug trade. I mean... This is the kind of thing where I kind of like knowing more about what the answer is going to do. Because... like, I don't really see why it would be a bad thing to pick that, but it could be like, you know, don't talk about ongoing investigations, or like tell them we're investigating it, or if we're finished investigating it, or blah 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 blah. I don't know. Aren't you going to ask me how I got in? Call me Mr. Dubois. Why? Why would I ask that? Turns out the strikers were being served an alcoholic brew. I stopped this. See, telling him that would also mean that he could just make him do it again. Better that he doesn't know. We can't really do anything here either. It won't count as one of the people informing you about the tattoos, but could be interesting? Question mark. See, I don't feel like pushing those guys. What's he gonna do? Rip my throat out? Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. You have to gain authority in Titus's eyes for the investigation to advance. Soften him up first. Maybe investigate the crime scene or the body. Look for a witness. Get help from the union boss or the company rep. Tie them to any other crimes? Okay, so that's what we need to do. I'm not sure what else to do. Unless we can talk to someone else there? See, this is an actual problem with the game. There aren't enough threads to pull at. Because I have like 40 quests, but none of them are actually doable. Maybe Messerhead knows something about the local drug trade.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Why are you not with the Hardy Boys?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
But they're all part of the union.
The Hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the union alone. And I do this out of race heroism. Finance is an alien concept to the seminaries.
Yeah, I get it.
Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman.
There's more to it. What have you got against them?
Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually perverted female vagrant and a narcotics peddler. It's shameful.
Who do you mean?
Find out for yourself. Endomorphic blub.
Interesting.
Tim, what do you think about this?
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next racist will be the really good one.
That will be the...
How do you know there will be a next racist? That will be our lucky
He will
racist.
grant us 3 wishes.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits. A protruding occiput and an indented zygomatic bone.
He leans in to
The
inspect.
lieutenant does not flinch.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. He still has the use of his mind.
Take him. He's not so bad. To call this again, we need
an old call box with a
Elysium.
matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. Whatever she says, it can't hurt you. You're a different person now. Stronger, healthier, and alright, maybe not healthier, but it's a bonus that you've drunk so hard you can't remember any of your past relationships. Oblivion's the ace in your corner.
Call her again.
There's a light buzz as you press the doorbell, waiting for her to answer the call. It's cold outside, and you can hear the wind blowing into the speaker.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electrics. Have you come to place an order?
Can you let me in, please? I need to get inside this building.
My God.
Here come the bad vibes again. Relax. Distance yourself from it.
What?
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice again.
Wait. Is she...
Didn't you already say that the last time we talked?
Michelle, just please.
Yeah, that was super obvious. Even her breathing, the way her voice drops when she finishes the sentence, sounds exactly the same.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
Is this some kind of joke?
It doesn't matter what I say, you're just going to continue, right?
The voice from the intercom doesn't answer, but you can hear her breathing. Wind blows into your microphone again, crackling and echoing in the box.
Is it over? Can we talk now?
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
Say nothing.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget about you.
And then it hits you.
You're a recording.
She tries again not to cry, and still doesn't succeed completely. Her quiet sobs sound old and distant, as if her voice is being played off a wax cylinder. Anger boils up in your chest.
Why does it still feel like it's my fault? Just a recording, and here I thought...
The sound melts into the static from a long-distance phone call. From time to time, you can hear people talking in the distance, but can't make out any words. This is where you hung up the call the last time, but the recording is still going.
Keep listening.
The phone rings in the office with an old-fashioned chime, and someone walks by in a pair of heels. The static is like a warm blanket wrapped around the sounds.
Is anyone there?
No one replies, but the static grows stronger like rainfall. Then a female voice speaks out, completely different from the one before. Glorious and total somehow, crawling inside your head. Her words are too cold to comprehend. She smells of sodium lights and rain streaks on car windows. Eyes like pilot lights watch your shape in dark hallways, guttering.
So...
The strange alien thought pattern ends. The lieutenant cuts in, inspecting the intercom.
It was a recording trapped in the circuitry from some ancient tenant. This sometimes happens. Shall we conclude here? We have other mysteries to solve.
Wait, a recording trapped in the circuitry?
Mm-hmm. I don't have time to explain it to you right now. Maybe sometime later.
He looks at the sea, almost wistful. Something weird just happened to me.
Don't take this the wrong way, but during our short stint working together, something weird is almost always happening to you.
That is true.
Alright. Got nothing out of that. Let me in! Lady? Kuno's little shit show. Hey Kuno, how is the speed running out yet?
Fuck does Kuno
Kuno care?
I gotta ask, who is Kuno? Talk
The
about your
fuck
shack
do you
again.
want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and
Want to
talk
discuss the
fuck
body?
about it. Fuck you talk.
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Let's back this up.
Toothed gremlin lets go of his head. Looks like the attack has passed.
You're
Get lost.
Questions about the crime scene.
the kingdom of Kuno. The fuck do you want with it? Yeah,
Hmm.
whatever. Kuno does.
Nothing with Kuno. Nothing with you either.
Die before I squeal, pig.
Heroic, legendary, formidable, map wall, ceiling, formidable.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
That bed in the coal room, yours.
Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
Really? You're a miner?
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens.
You have a real home?
Does anyone in a city like this?
She replies wistfully, looking around. It's not the nicest place, but I guess it'll have to do.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
Cool. I have other
Shoot,
questions.
Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it?
You know something about the recent murders?
Actually, there is a short.
We weren't put on this earth to make...
Right, this is where the old lady lives, I guess. For fuck's sake, Kim, you're in the way. Wait. $4? Oh, shit. Oh, we're only 7 short to sleep tonight. The thing is, can we even get more authority? Can't. It's still a really shitty check. And it's still our best check, except for Half-Light. Half-Light has item bonus. Can't get anything more out of
Give
you.
me a moment. Ask away, policeman.
Who lives in apartment 10?
No one lives there. It's been empty for months.
But I talked to someone through the door.
Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there.
She pauses, eyeing the hallway.
Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you?
There we go. Sure, I'll go see what I can find. Take it on.
Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans.
Who lives behind the padlocked door?
Oh, that one is a scientist. A future scholar.
Suddenly, the old lady's face is
I
beaming.
think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study.
Astrology?
Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall.
You mean the star and antlers? I think that's the symbol of communism.
The symbol of what now?
Communism. It's a political ideology.
Ah. All I know about politics is that it's brought us more harm than good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna kick down the door.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
This apartment is supposed to be empty. Did you break in here? Excuse me? Of course not.
Scare them. Suspected of some big crime. You have plenty of reason to enter.
I don't need a warrant if I suspect there's been a break-in. Or do I? I don't know. Oh, come on. There's a pause before you hear the door being unlocked.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah.
That was smart.
The lieutenant says, nodding toward the unlocked door. Thank you. You don't mind if I take your shoes, right? No, she doesn't. A blister pack of medicine peeks out the box. You should take it. Looks like a fine mattress.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
She jingles a set of keys in her hand.
Boy, there are a lot of different keys there. More than 20, at least.
Maybe she has the key to the blue door!
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
She fumbles through her purse, fishing out a light, paper-clad passport. Inspect the passport.
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details.
Nice haircut. Hand back the passport. Everything seems to be in order. Hand back the passport.
Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour.
What are you doing here?
I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place.
Reprehensible. Who lived here?
It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
She stops, hesitating.
But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry.
Who lived in the foreclosed apartment down the hallway?
Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but...
She's talking through her teeth the entire time.
And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
She snaps her fingers.
The sum must have been puny.
My money has also disappeared, I think. What does that have to do with anything? So, wait, what happened with the wall?
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both.
She's still shaking her head. Manicured hands now crossing over the chest.
Of course.
She replies with a smile, but her eyes remain glazed over. She's been waiting for you to leave. What do we have there? Hypnogamma. Yeah, I'll take it. Thank you. Okay, we did that, but didn't really solve anything. Like, the only thing we can do is go and try to establish authority. But like I said, chances were terrible. What was it, like 40% or 30%?
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Skill points. Bird.
There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right?
Case solved.
Cracked it. All in a good day's work.
Wait, what did I crack exactly?
What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is.
It's her husband, the missing husband. It's the future leader of a proletarian uprising. It's, some third option?
No. Stop goofing around, recruit.
It's her husband, the missing husband.
Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit. Didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband isn't missing though?
This doesn't add up. I'm only making a fool of myself.
Do marriages make any sense? Does honor? You're not a filthy philosopher. You're an officer of law. It's time to ace this case and not brood over your reputation. We can deal with the perception management later.
This is nonsense.
Not
Discard the
honorable,
thought.
recruit. Not honorable at all.
Shut up. Can't talk to this guy. It's all about money, you know. Okay.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives.
Yeah, there's literally nothing else to do. I have nothing that gives me more authority. I have only things that give less authority. Plus to indirect modes of taxation. Excuse me? That's one of the thoughts, but I don't want that. Titus, you were told to keep a low profile.
It's you again. What is it?
%28%? We have to do this. I talked to Joyce, the merc you hanged. His friends are coming for you.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Crenell?
He doesn't seem worried.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
There's snickering in the room. Some of the men put their beers down.
Nervous snickering. There's a rush of adrenaline present.
Yes, they are forming some kind of tribunal, and they're coming for you.
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us, and Glenn. Glenn is fucking crazy.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
Do you know that a single Seray's giant hornet can kill 40 bees a minute? Oh, that's terrible. Okay, with a shrug.
We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home.
Will they pierce ceramic armor?
I guess we're gonna see, aren't we?
That was an unsure phrasing.
For your sake, I hope you're right.
Right about what? That a 50 caliber bullet goes through shit? Yeah, I am.
This Colonel is bad news. You know that, right?
So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army. And the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around?
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
These people are trained military professionals, special forces, as you said. They're not a gang or Barmy army.
No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. We know more about them than you think.
Okay, conclude with a shrug. Do you know that a single Seray's giant hornet can kill 40 bees a minute? No. No, that's stupid. Okay, conclude with a shrug.
What do you mean, okay?
I mean, okay, you got one more gun on your side. Once I find mine, I lost it. Okay, I guess I'll be gunning you down right alongside them. I mean, okay, they're going to wipe you the fuck out, Titus.
No, they won't. Get out of here with your negative energy.
He shakes his beer at you.
He really doesn't like you ruffling their feathers like that on what might be the eve of battle.
All he means is that the situation is serious.
No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that.
As you look
thank
around
God.
this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar?
Where have I seen this before?
You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, men, sitting on desks, talking shit and wasting time.
I get it, Titus. You guys really are the authority around here. You must be. You're just like real cops, drinking beer and sitting around with your dicks in your hand.
You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
No, I'm also a big fan of beer, and jerking off instead of helping people. No, I'm a drunk on the job too. I don't give a shit, just like you guys. I have a beer problem, but not a problem with beer. I also have no idea how to do my job, like you.
Speak for yourself, buddy. I've been running this outfit for 10 years now. You should have seen Martinez before it started. It was like jam rock now.
They didn't see shit, man. Kids getting shot. We had 3 shootings a week. Fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
He picks the beer back up.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
It's not about who did it, it's about the victim. She needs help. Someone's been raped. She needs counseling. We need to talk to her. I've asked this before. Why are you hiding the victim?
Titus is hiding nothing. Titus?
He turns to the hulk of a man.
You want to talk to her? Fine, talk to her. I got nothing to hide.
He's too angry to drink.
Everybody has something to hide. He certainly does.
So long as you treat her with respect, no questioning, no harassing, or you got the freight train of pain heading your way. You understand?
He grinds his fist into his palm.
What is her name?
The lieutenant takes out his notes.
Vasya, I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags, a real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's I'm on due with an O-U.
What was her relationship with the mercenary?
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
When did the rape happen?
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
He crushes his half-empty beer can.
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer.
He turns to Glenn.
Here you go, boss.
The tall blonde throws him a can. Titus cracks it open. What is your relationship with it?
I know her.
He looks around and an uncommon silence fills the room.
How well do you know her?
Well enough, Copper. We partied. She's been here for a few months.
So she's not from around here?
You mean Revachol? Nah, she's an immigrant. Or a drifter of some sort. Been staying here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all.
The fat guy blurts out.
Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Slaps his forehead.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it. And what was up with the partying she and Titus did? It sounded fun.
You said you partied. What did you mean?
What do you think I meant?
Drugs?
Yeah, we did them. What's that to you?
So you're saying the two of you were close?
No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after. So put your dick away.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. That's all you're gonna get for now. He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of I don't give a shit.
I think I know her.
You don't know her.
You're wrong, I do.
Not the way I do.
Thank you, we'll talk to her.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Starting from sitting
No.
across.
No.
He spent his youth and
No.
then the emblem in
No.
the far corner. Standard size in
No.
in conclusion.
Stop.
Exactly.
The fuck is with you?
I've got nothing to say.
Can I help you? Another thing, yes?
No, I can't ask him about a person that's staying here.
The door is closed.
Let's check our clothes. What do we have? What could we have? Conceptualization, electrochemistry, half-light. +1 logic, -1 authority. Calculus, conceptualization. Savoir-faire.
The door is closed.
Who is it?
A woman's voice answers, muffled by the door.
Tired. Controlled.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm
She
drying my
shouts.
hair.
Okay, so this hotel bill calculations. Looks like she had an extended stay. House of dirty clothes. A woman's. Whoops. I didn't mean to go in there. Don't worry about me. You see the yard below. Corpse is no longer there.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top.
Nope. Not gonna look at the toothbrush. Bed has been hastily made. The smell of cigarette smoke in the air. Astra. Menthol. Cold coffee and an ashtray that looks like a hedgehog.
Welcome to the roof.
The young woman has a cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other. Flashe, Miss Orange Disco Dancer.
Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built, long, and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Nice view you got here.
It's much nicer now.
Her eyes wander north toward the yard.
Where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible from the roof, but no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly.
You mentioned a cleaning lady. I think I need one.
Oh, yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there.
It has.
They also say it's why the cleaning lady quit.
Oh no.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I see you've already met my colleague.
Have I ever? Have you grown accustomed to your role as a police officer?
He turns to you.
Oh yeah, feel the power.
Once a cop, always a cop.
Like riding a cop-a-cycle.
Takes a sip of her coffee.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
She takes a pensive drag of her menthol cigarette.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult.
What's your name, miss? For the record.
Clausier Amandou.
Same name that Titus gave you. It sounds Oranese, as does her accent.
Are you from Orange?
Right, sir. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. I guess you could say I am an Oranese expatriate.
What is Orange? How old are you?
I'm 28.
She takes a drag. What do you do, miss? What is your specialization?
Something stupid.
What's that?
Oranese lit.
Oranese lit?
Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university.
She raises both eyebrows. Back to you.
Back to me.
She breathes in the menthol-flavored fumes, savoring it in her lungs. Could we take a look at your passport, please? Thank you. That's it for the record.
The record. So official.
Nice room you've got here.
Yeah. It's pretty deluxe.
What are you doing here in the whirling in rags?
I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November.
Why here?
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol.
Here in Martinez.
I heard this is where the washed-up disco has-beens go.
You're too young to call yourself a disco has-been.
I'm really not.
What are you doing here in the whirling in rags?
Wintering.
How long?
About 4 months.
Why
Here
here?
in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol.
Here in the whirling.
Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. I'm wintering.
Oh, this is such
About
weird.
4
This is so
months.
weird.
Here in the Whirling, here
Here in
I've
Revachol.
always wanted to see the only city in the world in the worst time of the year. It's a tourist thing.
This is by far not the only reason she's here, and she isn't really hiding it either.
I have other questions for you.
Okay.
Yikes. They tell us you've been through something difficult.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean?
Were you sexually assaulted, miss?
By sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
It takes a quick drag, unperturbed.
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it?
Actually, it's already afternoon.
Is it?
Squinting, she takes a look around. The spring sun is high in the sky. People pass below.
It is afternoon. Time flies, man.
So, were you?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier.
Titus asked you to spice things up for us.
Pretty much.
She cradles her coffee cup in both hands.
Warming them.
What did happen between you and the victim?
We partied.
Wait, partied? Where have I heard that before?
A lot of partying going on.
From Titus. About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it.
What kind of partying? Point to your bloated face. The kind I do?
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that.
No one parties harder than me.
Please, you're alive in 50. I've known people who party so hard they're dead at 14.
She stops to take a short
What
drag.
did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
You were lovers?
I guess you can say that, yes. A bit. Lovers is such an emotional word. But there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be.
How did you two meet?
The lieutenant's voice is quiet, calm.
Downstairs. At the bar. He was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that.
Must have been hard for you, point to the seeing him there.
Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
The call reporting the hanging. That was you.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
Connor's voice was
I
disguised.
didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little.
Nicked it? How?
With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
So, she's Scott's mystery foam cutter.
And in the process, you broke the landline downstairs.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Don't mention.
She must have had training of some kind.
Why go through all the trouble?
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there.
What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age?
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his... I don't know. Hair.
Another puff, more nervous.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
How do the Hardy boys know you?
They're frequent guests. Downstairs. They have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now.
And how did you meet?
Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter.
Did you party?
A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have.
Which one?
Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
What did they hang him for, if not rape?
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
Thank you for telling us all this, miss.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
Let's go. After I go into this door.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
No. Playing it cool. Oh, he wants to talk before we go down.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
Think this will make them cooperate?
Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan.
Say in a hushed voice, why did she tell us all of that?
What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
I'm not sure she had to lie. I wouldn't have known.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
Something is off here.
You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna check her toothbrush, dude.
This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs, plus an old toothbrush, and...
Look at the toothbrush.
It's been used quite a lot.
Look at the medications.
Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
Quite the collection in here.
Anything of note?
He asks in a lowered voice. Oh, okay. He's fine with me snooping in the medicine cabinet. Search the bottles.
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra. Nacra, this is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Nacra. Opioid antagonist.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
The lieutenant nods, then looks at the door. Search the pill sheet.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gottwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how.
Can we get some more electrochemistry here at all? No, I don't think so.
This medicine cabinet is stocked with a bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container.
What's so exciting about this orange bottle?
It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Lieutenant, I also see a brand called Preptide.
Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy.
Close the cabinet. Take it in plain sight. No. Can I go into your room yet? Open the door, Kim! Or don't, I guess. What could we want up for talking with them? We already have the authority. Drama, encyclopedia, logic, rhetoric, vision. I only have 3 in instruments. No, I think I'll hang on to this. We can always just do it. Sweet. Flight. +1 logic. Not sure we'll need the authority again.
It's you again. What is it?
Yeah, what is it? Let's go over the rape victim again.
Again? Yeah, whatever.
Basha says she wasn't raped.
Fuck. I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
You've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No, more than that. The loyal Titus feels betrayed.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
Crazy? What are you talking about? She was very lucid. Cut the bullshit. She told me the truth.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her. And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Something breaks in him. He takes a step closer and says...
Titus Hardy!
Her voice rings through the room like a warning shot.
Success. Titus backs off. Fists down, everybody.
Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Frankly, it's a bit terrifying. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
He turns to Titus, who's still breathing heavily.
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
Why should I care about the tape? You lied to me.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then?
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll have nothing to hide behind.
So, what's on this tape?
What's on it? We call it the Dorgun Mega Mix. You'll know why. Won't you listen to it?
Where did you get this tape?
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
So you've bugged them? Oh.
We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Takes a little note.
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
Which one of you is doing this advanced radio work?
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
The chief picks his bear back up to offer a silent toast.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
That's enough for now. I'll get back to the investigation.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy.
Fine. I'll listen to it.
You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
Yep, butthole.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader.
Play the tape. You push commencer, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
Das ist eine Revershow. Das ist a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
Another loud screech, some kind of machinery.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice one. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
A click, then silence. The rest of the tape is empty.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arrête on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
What was that at the very end? Silence?
End of recording.
What do you think?
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol, around the harbor walls.
I agree. He also sounded inebriated.
Still.
The lieutenant looks at the tape. You're familiar with this look now. It's his look of suspicion. Who's this Corty?
Corty could be short for Cortenard, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work.
What's Cohoy?
A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
You think he was there?
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
A symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
Okay then. What now?
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
Maybe. Well.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Volition. Look her in the eye. I mean, I do want more volition. Regardless. I'll take that. Titus Hardy gave us a recording where the deceased states his intention to commit rape.
She puts her coffee cup down.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
Smile flits across her face.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
On this tape, he specifically identifies you as the target.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Those are the exact words he used.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
She picks the cup back up.
A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Cohoy style?
Cohoy was mentioned.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Cohoy. It wasn't his everything.
Why say things like that? But she smell?
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Persona?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36th famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
Aren't you afraid?
Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil.
It's true.
Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
She wouldn't. She doesn't have the full schmin in her.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Now that you have some time, can you tell us more about the victim?
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start.
The lieutenant writes it down in his notebook.
We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
His eye color?
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
How old was he?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no.
Memory makes her smile.
We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
The lieutenant taps on his notebook once, as though assigning some kind of point.
Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
Oh, thank you. Better not to
The
mention
young
it.
woman looks at you, then the lieutenant, then you.
He had a tattoo. What did it mean?
Oh, that.
What did it represent? Do you know?
It was a map of his life and the places he visited as a soldier. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
Showing off to chicks? How so?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Orani's lit?
Don't interrupt.
He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, What was this, baby?
She points at the air with her sharp-nailed finger, picking out on the imaginary tattoos.
And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
You were the woman in this?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us precisely what these mean? Enter the photo.
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
She pours herself some more coffee.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Change of topic, perhaps?
We ordered a toxicology report. Any idea what that will show us?
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil. How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I could do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss, but we'll manage without your help for now.
I think we're finished with this line of questioning.
All right.
The lieutenant puts the slip back in his notes and observes the young woman for a moment.
Gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
I can't let that go up. I need to talk to you about your room again.
Yeah?
Where does that door lead to? Point to the door on the roof.
I have no idea, officer.
He looks at it calmly. You have quite the collection of prescription drugs down there. But that would tell her that we've rummaging shit.
All right.
Talk about this so-called assault.
Not my favorite topic, but okay. How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
I noticed your room is close to mine. I have a personal question. Let's return to this later, miss.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m., drinking coffee, most likely.
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
It's what she said, yes.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of morality. He was 42 years old?
Where is this going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Him. How old do you think I am? The lieutenant isn't quite sure he heard you. How old do I look?
Old? 58?
Yeah. Oh my god, that's really old. Really? Maybe you're wrong. You were wrong about the deceased too. He was way younger. Oh my god, that's really old. Really?
You asked.
He shrugs. You're probably right. That's about what I look. But fuck.
Actually, make that 54. Alcoholism has severely impacted your appearance, and I was wrong about the age of the deceased.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements.
Bring it on. I'm not afraid of the truth.
To the laboratorium.
What? Date of birth generator, excuse me? Your face looks like it's 58, and your body feels like it's 60. Your mind feels like it's lived for 1 day or 100, both longer than they ought to be. The day and the century. For how long then has this thing attached to your sentience walked the planet's crust? Time to start racking those brains of yours. Elder One. When and where were you born? I need to know that.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Push.
It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets.
We have -2 physical instrument, so we'll have to wait. Were we supposed to talk to the Hardys again now? No, I don't think so. Yeah, no, we should.
It's you again. What is it?
This all seems like a lover's grudge. So I talked to Klaasje about the tape. And nothing. She stands by what she said.
That fucking fucker.
He stares at his beer
You're
for
the
2
worst
seconds.
cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
Gold? It was just locker room talk. It's not evidence. It was dark stuff, but it didn't prove anything. And it didn't change her mind.
Dark. Dark is when you start a goddamn death rock band. He said he'd rape her.
He shakes his head in disbelief.
What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Fucking whoop-de-doo.
She did not say whoop-de-doo.
I can confirm that.
I see what you're doing there. Listen to shit.
She didn't? Well, whoop-de-doo then.
He's too angry to drink his beer. He just stares at it. That is, she said she would like to be a little door gunner herself if she could.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore. Alright. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
Her voice is a bit softer than it.
Okie dokie. This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
Titus rubs his chin with his palm, trying to grind it smooth.
You don't have to say everything out loud. Just mix and match.
Maybe she isn't who you thought she was. Maybe she isn't who you thought she was.
Nah. I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head.
She's not some helpless girl. She handled the mercenary well enough. Oh, I guess you do know her then.
Yeah,
you he knows her.
Nah, I know her. She's just a girl, in over her head.
The hardcore party girl with a bigger death wish than mine.
Yeah. You're right about that. She takes way too many drugs.
Well, it's as they say. You can't do anything with an underdose.
The mask says with a philosophical look on his eye. What does that even mean?
With an overdose, you can at least try to come off it. Take a bath, do breathing exercises, get medical attention as necessary. With an underdose, you're just you. Yeah, underdose isn't an actual word.
Yeah, but I mean, she has an actual drug problem. Not like you. Not like us. I don't think I've ever seen her sober.
Maybe she is still in denial, you know, like a defense mechanism.
Yeah, maybe. That is a possibility.
Be straighter with me, Titus. What really happened?
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
He put his giant face in his hands and smiled.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men, too, are growing increasingly silent.
Come on, Titus. The stakes are too high here. There will be blood on the streets. The tribunal, remember. I know you're tired. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you, them, and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck off!"
He throws his beer can down.
This is the petulant rage of someone who's at the end of their wits.
That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over. Yeah.
There's a silence in the room. Alain starts saying something, then thinks best not.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
The man shouts from behind the counter.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
Glenn livens
The
up.
window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they will be.
Rhetoric. Convince Titus he's being manipulated. What was it? Rhetoric? -1 rhetoric. Can't get rhetoric from anything. I can get one more rhetoric here.
It's you again. What is it?
Angus can't take pressure. Warned about the tribunal. Discussed 8th Hardy. Confronted about drug trade. Convince Titus he's being manipulated.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter.
One of his boys will.
Fat Angus, the powerful guy, Mr. All Muscle. The time has come. Put him in the pressure cooker. Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez, their district, their responsibility. Outside, in the midday sun, ruins. The pavements are cracked and the benches peeling. Newspapers blow in the wind.
That's it then. Case closed. Look around. We're going home, kid.
Huh?
The lieutenant raises his brow.
He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down, Kim, in Martinez. They just kill you because they don't like you.
Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
He takes out his notebook. Because of some chick.
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
And wins. It's involuntary.
The man's fists under the table are balled. You can tell from his neck and shoulders. He means it.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the wild north.
He scratches in his book. They club you from behind, string you up, and go back to drinking.
It wasn't that. It wasn't... We didn't hit him, okay?
That's it. That's the weak one.
Oh.
You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
The old man reaches for his belt, but his voice is strangely calm.
He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
Look at Kim first.
The lieutenant has put down his notebook. His hand is resting on his holster. He gives you an imperceptible nod. What? What does that mean?
A nod means keep going. Or what? Turn to Theo. What happens if I keep talking? You're gonna kill me too, in this bar, for nothing? Turn to Angus. Or what? You're gonna kill me like you killed him for no fucking reason?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
He takes a breath, wheezing.
Shut up, Angus!
He was dead before you hanged him?
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
The little guy hits Angus on the back of the head.
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
The room falls quiet. So quiet, you can hear Angus wheeze.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Grabs his chest.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
She walks off without looking back.
You're in. He's all yours. Questions?
If Klasha didn't kill him, why the cover-up? The idea was it to hang him anyways. Hers?
In a manner of speaking.
What do you mean?
We had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, isn't it? The drug trafficker, missing 8th Hardy.
Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
Understood. Can you tell me anything about her? Name, current location?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klasia you want to talk to.
So, you didn't kill him. He was already dead.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. What was it?
We're not sure. Probably a bullet. The wound was difficult to see.
The coroner and his assistant are wrapped in blue. Hands covered in blue gloves. Mouths covered by blue masks. Bodies by blue aprons. The coroner wipes his brow, scalpel still in his hand. Get the light. Shine it in his mouth. He tells his assistant. The coroner squats to better see the light illumines the darkness inside. Well, shit. Can't blame them for missing that. Get the saw, Alan. This just got fun.
Ah, shit. I wonder if you could have seen that. Like, I looked into his mouth. If we had the flashlight when we were there, that might have changed the entire thing.
Because the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural? There's another girl? 2 of them? Take note of this. They'll probably say more about her later.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
What happened Sunday night?
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way.
I don't know what gurning means, sorry.
It looked like she redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How did you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
The rat-faced man snickers.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
He turns back to you. What happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. And there was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
He means they'd been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
If Classier didn't kill him, why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit are we talking
That
about?
can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
These people, who are they?
They're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
So who killed the Merc then? Can you leave?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Clausia. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
And you had ideas about his past too.
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell.
He pauses to think.
Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again.
Who's Tibbs? The 8th Hardy?
Yeah. He's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Sorry I made you guys fight. Thank you for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her for the last time.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go.
He grabs his beer and swirls it in his hand. Thinks of something.
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags in a warm column.
She, Clausia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection, but
you would still prefer if we didn't take her away?
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
The lieutenant slides his notebook into his coat pocket and turns to leave. What is that? What? It appears every single time I'm here. Is that just some shit? You see hawthorn bushes outside.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside.
50%, there's no point in trying that.
There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached a yellow ribbon to make it easier to find.
I figured we could just roll a double 6 with some luck. So it was worth it, because otherwise I would have just like rolled once after upping perception.
It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Someone's hid a key in the bush. Point at the window.
Huh?
Can you let me slide by so I can grab the thing?
I don't know about that. I'm comfortable here. Don't think any sliding would really help right now.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch, and slides it across the table to you.
Take the key.
The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched to its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in...
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
Thank you. No, to the old man.
Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
The old man takes out his pack of chewing tobacco.
There is a silence around this man's words. Unlike Titus, they're afraid of him. That's the type of respect he commands.
It goes here! Or to the roof.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
Try the workshop spare
The key
key on the door.
fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years. But then, the lock clicks. Dust rises before you like mist. A tomb? Haunted by regal spirits from distant ages.
The pinball says Franco-Nigerian. The theme is horses and swords. The pinball is a white Diora. The back glass shows a female figure in mourning. A note. NB. The spare key is tied to the bush outside the corner room window. Oh shit, we can almost afford to stay for the night. There's a very...
All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played.
Run your finger across the dust of the white Diora machine.
Feels like it might jump back to life any moment. The lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
What's white Diora?
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
Diora was one of the 3 crown cities of the DeLorean era, on the Muindi Isola, the others being Ria Silvia and at Vesperasket. This theme is all about early airships and beautiful, sad, pearl-laden women. It's quite nice, actually. The lieutenant grimaces looking at the machines.
Sounds like you don't enjoy pinball, Kim.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on.
He doesn't.
What about the other one? The Franco-Nigerian ball. Want to play that? Let's move on then. But that's where we're going to stop for tonight. We'll do some grinding tomorrow. Short stream tonight. I didn't home until pretty late, so. But we'll continue then. Until then, have a good night and see you later. Bye bye. Good night, Martin.